All right, thank you for joining me for Yoga Flow. We are going to be practicing a nice slow flow today. So this practice is all about just kind of getting the kinks out and moving and feeling good. So go ahead and make your way onto your back and settle into whatever position feels most comfortable for you today. And as you arrive on your mat and your back, you can take up a little more space somehow. So you might slide your hands a little further away from your sides. You might slide your feet a little further away from each other. And then soften in. So relax your shoulders down your back. And kind of lengthen your tailbone forward. And then just allow yourself to get heavy on the mat. Allow gravity to take over and the mat and the ground to support you. So awareness to all the areas of your body that are connected to the ground. And allow them to, again, get a little heavier. So maybe your heels, your calves, your hips, shoulders, the backs of your hands, and the back of your head. And then softening or closing your eyes. Relax that space between your eyebrows and your forehead. Relax your jaw, unclench your teeth. Then notice the quality of your breath. Notice the quality of your thoughts. Here's the tone of your thoughts and what kind of mood you're in, what your energy level's like. Just do a check-in. And as you're continuing to land on your mat, so away from anything you have going outside of the room, bring your awareness fully to your breath. Begin to breathe in and out through your nose, evening out your inhales with your exhales. Maybe noticing a shift by just bringing your awareness to your breath. And then staying connected to that breath, we're committed to breathing in and out through your nose, even as we start to move around a little more. Start to wiggle fingers and toes, wrists and ankles. You might turn your head a little side to side. On an inhale, reach your arms up overhead so your biceps come by your ears, and we'll slide the legs and the feet together, point your toes forward, reach out through the fingers, lengthen through your sides. You might give a little sway side to side. So up and over, just a nice kind of dynamic banana asana or banana pose. Walk your feet up onto the mat, planting the soles of your feet, and then draw your knees in toward your armpits, right knee toward the right armpit and left knee toward the left. That space just above your tailbone, staying connected to your mat. The shoulders rolled back, the shoulders connected to the mat as well. You get a little tuck of the chin, lengthen out the back of the neck. And then notice how your low back feels here in this pose in the front of your hips. And you might consider pressing the soles of your feet up toward the ceiling and just kind of building onto happy baby. You can grab the backs of your thighs, you can grab your calves, the outer edges of your feet or your big toes. Keeping the back nice and long on the mat. Then you might start to rock a little side to side. Just kind of lingering in places that feel maybe overworked or tight. And just giving yourself a little kind of massage the back body by rocking and applying a little more pressure where it might feel good to do that. And then coming to stillness, settling your movements if you're finding some. Draw your knees together in toward your chest and wrap your arms around your shins, interlacing your fingers or grabbing your forearms or your elbows, but just using the arms as weight to keep the knees hugged in here for a moment. Check in with that breath, in and out through the nose still. If you drifted from it, the practice is just bringing it back in. And then let's start to find some big, sweeping, slow hip circles. Connecting the breath to it. Inhale the knees away from each other, and then circle the knees toward the front of your mat, and then hug them back in. And then allow your thighs to circle just right around within your hip sockets. Maybe finding some movement within your ankles as well here. But really slow-mo. And then go the other direction. Stay with the breath. Inhaling, knees wide. Exhaling, navel to spine, knees in toward the chest. So when you're breathing in, your belly's filling up, the knees go wide, the upper back presses into the mat. When you exhale, navel draws in and up and back. Knees hug in. Just a couple more here. All right, and the knees come back together. Interlace your fingers, grab your bind again, your forearms or elbows, whatever works for you. And then drawing in through your belly, let the lift come from the belly as you lift your shoulders and the back of the neck and head up off of the mat. So you're rounding the upper back, lifting the chest, drawing the chin toward the chest, the forehead toward the knees toward the ears. Feel that core turn on, and then keep that in slow motion, melt back down, keeping your knees drawn in. Just release your back down, the shoulders, the head comes back down. We'll do that 2 more times. Exhale, round up, curl up. Slowly release down. One more time. Curl up, exhale. And release down. And cross your shins, cross your ankles. We grab the backs of your thighs, so behind the knees, and then tucking the chin, try to use your core strength to rock and roll up and down. So we'll avoid kicking your feet back. Try to use more strength than momentum here. Then you'll get a little bit there, but try just to kind of rock up and down where it feels good. And then travel to your table as it makes sense for you. So you can take your knees to one side or the other. There's not a wrong way of getting there. We'll spread our fingers nice and wide in table. Our shoulders over the elbows, plant the tops of the feet down, knees underneath your hips, and then come right into cat-cow. So continuing to press into your fingertips, even grabbing onto the mat. Exhale, round your back, curl the tailbone, scoop in the belly, press the ground away, broaden your shoulders, and tuck your chin so that rounding goes all the way from the base of the spine out through the crown of the head. You'll inhale to unravel, extend, tilt the pelvis, release your belly down, draw the shoulders down away from the ears, and let your gaze up last. And then find a few more rounds here with your breath, exhaling as you round in, inhaling as you extend, and as you're moving up and down through your spine, you can notice areas of the back that maybe feel a little restricted or stuck or tight, where you can just invite a little bit more movement in. And then your movements, you can always pause where it feels good to pause. You know how you feel in your body. So make those choices for you. Just a couple more rounds here getting in. Noticing the rhythm of your body today. Okay, and let's make our way back through center. Keeping your hips over your knees, draw your belly button up away from the ground and start to walk your hands forward, extending the arms forward into probably a pose with the favorite name for me, extended puppy. But as you bring your arms forward, hips up, you bring your chest toward the mat. You can bring your forehead down or hover your forehead. You can also kind of rest your chin very lightly to the ground and gaze forward if that feels good to you. Broaden through your shoulders. Try to lift your forearms and elbows up off of the mat so we get a hint of down dog here in the upper body. The belly button's drawing in, the hips are drawing back, the chest is moving forward. And then start to walk your hands back and under your shoulders. Inhale to cow pose. So that extension, curl the toes under, zip in the belly, tuck your chin, and exhale back to downward facing dog. Keep the weight pressing into your fingers, relax your neck, your jaw, your shoulders, and start to just work it out. Start to find some movement in this down dog. So pedaling out your legs might feel right. Maybe walking your feet wide, bending your knees. Do your thing. All right, and then lift your heels up high, look forward past your hands. Walk your feet up to the top of the mat, all the way up toward your hands. And then with your feet hip width apart, inhale, peek up halfway and lengthen. Reach the arms behind the back, interlace the fingers. Give a little bend to your knees and fold over your legs. Your belly might come right to your thighs. Let the head go, and then lift the knuckles off of the low back, even just a little bit. Turn the head side to side or pedal out your legs here as well. Ungrip your toes. Zip the belly in, and then release your hands down toward the low back, and then allow them just to hang down heavy toward the ground. Press down into your feet, stand up and reach all the way up toward the ceiling. Kiss your palms together, bring your hands in, center your chest. All right, and then just pause there a moment. So grounding down through your feet, standing up nice and tall. Reconnect to your breath if you happen to have drifted away from it there. But feel that length in your spine. There are elements of this pose in every other pose. So feel that nice length and lift. Inhale, your arms up toward the ceiling, finding some half sun salutations here. And exhale, draw in through the belly and fold over active legs. Let the head go. Inhale to lengthen, lifting up halfway. Hands might come right to your thighs. Roll your shoulders back, open the chest. Exhale, forward fold over the legs. Press down, rise up. Inhale, reach up toward the ceiling. Press your palms, bring it in, heart center. 2 more like that. Inhale, the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen and lift. Exhale, fold in. Press down, rise up. Inhale. Press your palms, draw your thumbs in, right into your heartbeat. Inhale, reach. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, back in. Press down, rise up, reach up. Press your palms, bring it in, heart center. We'll keep that pace going. We'll just add on lunges to this. So inhale, the arms up to the ceiling, maybe even lifting your gaze. Exhale, fold in over the legs. Inhale, lengthen, hands to your thighs, shoulders back. Exhale, fold in, press your palms down, or if you have blocks, you can place your hands on blocks or fingertips. Slight gaze forward, step the left foot to the back of the mat, and then take the left knee down, untuck the toes. Let's interlace the fingers and press the palms down to the top of the right thigh as we lift the chest up. Find a gaze point on the ground, legs are still strong, breath is on. Inhale the arms up to the ceiling and kind of reach up and back. So picturing a C shape in your back body, you're trying to lengthen that a little bit by reaching up and back. Big inhale. Exhale your hands down to the mat. Gaze down. Curl the back toes under. Lift the back knee up. Step that right foot back and send your hips up toward the ceiling, downward facing dog. Now let's lift the heels up high. Take the knees down to the mat. Invite in some hip circles here. Right hip goes toward the right heel. Left hip over left heel. We'll round to that left side, shifting forward, letting the head and neck be part of the movement. Continuing on there a few rounds. And if that applies too much pressure on your knees, find cat-cow or even seated cat-cow here, or any other movement or vinyasa movement with your breath that feels right to you today. Be expressive, find some freedom in your movement, release in your effort. Remember what it was that brought you to your yoga mat, wherever you are, whatever time of day it is. Okay, and then let's come back to table. Inhale, cow pose. Curl the toes under, tuck the chins, and your hips back to downward facing dog. All right, inhale the left leg up and back. And let's bring it in knee to nose. We'll bend that knee in, shifting forward to plank, but we're pressing the ground and rounding our back like we're in that cat pose again. Inhale, take that left leg back up. Keep the weight even in your hands, and then bend that left knee, flex the left ankle. Imagine you're stacking your hips. And square the hip back up to the mat, hug the left knee back in. Shift forward, look forward. Step the left foot up toward the left thumb. Take the right knee down, untuck the toes, Interlace the fingers and press the palms down to the top of that left thigh as your chest lifts up. And then pressing in the top of the back foot and the front heel, reach the arms up and back. Really reaching out through the fingertips, strong through the legs. Exhale, hands down. Curl the back toes, lift the back knee. Step the right foot up to meet the left at the top of the mat. Inhale, lengthen, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold in over the legs. Press down into the feet, stand up, reach up, rise. Press your palms, drag your thumbs in through your heartbeat. All right, let's continue on. Inhale will be breath by breath, reaching up. Exhale, forward fold in. Inhale, lengthen forward, half lift. Exhale, fold in. Bring your hands down and slight gaze forward. Step your right foot to the back of your mat. Let's take the right knee down, untuck the toes, and send the arms right up to the ceiling, up and back. And then let's press the palms together, bend the elbows, and bring the thumbs toward the back of the neck. And then lift your chest up, maybe lift your gaze up here. Reach the arms back up to the ceiling and down toward your mat. Frame that front foot. Curl the back toes, lift the back knee. Let's keep that right hand a little forward of the right shoulder and peel the left arm up to find a twist here. And exhale, hand down, gaze down. Press the mat away, send the left foot back and lift your hips up to downward facing dog. Your vinyasa, your movement with your breath, anything that feels right here. Maybe it's child's pose, maybe it's breathing in down dog. Maybe you're lifting your heels, taking your knees down, finding some circles or movements in the other direction. So maybe now you're moving to the left or the right. Maybe just moving around and not worrying about the shape that you're forming. Just moving nice and slow in the way that it feels right to you. Notice where your focus is. If your mind has wandered outside of the room, draw it back in, come back to that breath anchor. And let's make our way, we'll meet in down dog, inhaling to that cow pose. Curling the toes, lifting the hips, down dog. Inhale the right leg up and back, knee to nose, hug that right knee in, shift forward, press the ground away and round. You're kind of tucking the chin in as well. And then inhale, take the right leg back up, open up that hip, bend the knee, flex the ankle, press evenly through your hands. Square your hip to the mat, hug it in, shift forward, and step it up toward that right thumb. Take the back knee down, untuck the toes, reach the arms up toward the ceiling. In this lunge, we'll press the palms together, bend the elbows, and bring the thumbs toward the back, the neck, lifting the chin up. And send the arms back up, and then down to the mat. Lift that back knee up and open up to that twist. Right arm reaches up. And exhale. Gaze down, hand down, step the left foot up to the top of the mat, peek up halfway, exhale, fold, press down, rise up, and hands up. All right, inhale, reach the arms up to the ceiling, and this time interlace your fingers, release the index fingers and the thumbs. Press down through your feet, just like a couple sways side to side, similar to what we did in our back, but now standing nice and grounded through the feet and lifting up and over. And if you notice you get to that point where you begin to hold the breath at all, just back off from that space, don't go as far. And then walk your feet wider than your hips. Heels in, toes out if that feels good for your hips as we slowly come down to a yogi squat. And you can bring forearms to the tops of your thighs, elbows to the inner knees. Let's try to keep that low back lengthening, the chest lifting. And your heels may not be on the mat, and that's okay. You can always roll your mat up to place a little cushion there, a pillow if you have one, or a blanket. Even if it feels good, you can always pause the video and keep that blanket there and pause there a moment. But if you're sticking with us, we won't be here too much longer. Just go ahead and sway a little side to side. From here, let's plant our hands down, lift the hips up, heel toe the feet back into hip width. Peek up, hands to your thighs, half lift, lengthen. Exhale, hands down, step back to plank. From your plank, you can bring your knees down or keep them lifted, but we'll slowly lower all the way down to the mat. Elbows stay close, core stay strong, thighs down, hips, belly, chest. Arms back along your sides for locust pose. Palms facing the ground, thumbs facing out. Spread your toes nice and wide, so you're untucking those toes. And then lift the feet up a little bit to both knees. Lift your hands, lift your chest. Lengthen as you lift. And exhale. Release down. You can turn a cheek to the mat or your forehead. We'll do 2 more rounds of that locust pose. 2 more rounds of that back bend. All right, and this time if you'd like to interlace your fingers behind your back, it might feel pretty good. Reach your hands toward your feet as you lift your feet up, spread your toes, lift your chest. And release. Turn the opposite cheek to the mat or your forehead again, just rest a moment. You can put either of those versions on repeat, or you can bend both knees, reach back, you grab your ankles and then flex your ankles or the tops of the feet and extend your ankles and point your toes up for bow pose. So we'll be kicking your feet into your hands, pressing your hands back at the tops of your feet. And as you kick into your hands and lift your thighs off the ground, lifting your heels away from your seat and your chest up comes up to that back bend. Keep your knees in line with the hips. We'll often want to go wide. We just want to be cautious in that low back and just find your back bend here. And as you slowly release, let your feet come to the mat lightly, and then place your hands under your shoulders or a little behind. Stay low, press up and back to child's pose. Knees a little closer together this time. Let's reach the arms back and let the palms face up by the feet. Give the arms a little break. And then round in, rest your forehead down. Notice how those back bends make you feel energized, where you feel the breath the clearest now, the heartbeat. Just pause a moment to notice what you notice. Let's take the arms forward, lift the hips up, shoulders over the elbows, back to that table. Inhale, open your chest up to the right, palm facing right, and we'll thread the needle, reaching the right arm underneath the left, and coming all the way down. So we'll come down onto that right shoulder, the back of the arm and hand, and we'll rest that temple down to the ground, side of the face down, or to your block if you have one. Belly button drawing up away from the ground, letting ourselves start to settle and the energy slow down. And then press down into your left fingers, take the right arm up and back. Set it down, we'll switch sides. Open up to the left, reach it up and back. And then sweep that left arm underneath the right arm and slowly come down. Another round of breath or so. When you feel balanced on this side, slowly make your way out of it. Press into your right fingers. Take the left arm up and back one more time. And then set the hand down. And from your table, shift over to either side to make your way to your seat. We'll plant the feet hip width apart, knees bent, finding seated cat-cow to make our way back. So grab the backs of your thighs. Take a big inhale. Lift your chest up. Roll your shoulders back. Exhale, curl the tailbone under, draw the belly in, tuck the chin. Just find a couple rounds like that. So just seated cat-cow. And then eventually rolling onto your back and hugging your knees in toward your chest. And then plant your feet down, hip width apart. Pressing down into your heels, knees bent. Bring the forearms down and palms down along our sides, and then pressing down to lift up to one bridge pose. So as you press down and lift your hips up, tailbone's lengthening forward, you might tuck the shoulders underneath your back, turn the palms up to face the ceiling, or interlace the fingers under your back, press the pinkies down and lift your hips up a little higher. Under your bind, untuck your shoulders, turn the palms down, and slowly lower your back down to the mat. Let's hug the right knee in, straighten the left leg out to the front of your mat, and slowly build a twist, right arm reaching out beside you. Roll onto that left outer hip, use your left hand to guide the right knee across the body. We want to let our shoulders snuggle down into the mat so both shoulders connect into the mat. So your right knee may not be on the ground, and that's okay. You can rest the right foot on the back of the left thigh or on the ground. But again, allow both shoulders to be resting on the ground. Collarbones broad. It's really natural here to be engaging muscles that don't need to be. So notice where you can maybe get a little heavier, a little more passive, as you feel is moving toward stillness again. Kind of winding down. Then turn your head up to the ceiling. Unwind from the twist. Kind of scoot your hips back to center. Give that right knee a squeeze and bring your left knee in to meet it for just a moment here. Maybe noticing a difference between the sides. And then left knee in, right leg long. Reach the left arm out. Roll onto the right outer hip. And guide that left knee across the body into your twist. Scooting the right shoulder over if you need to let that left shoulder come down. Turning the head only if you turn it on the first side so that we balance that out for the neck and take that twist all the way up. Again, let your legs get heavier, your hips, your shoulders. We'll unwind, head back up to face the ceiling, shift back to center, hug the left knee in and the right knee in as well, and then either just giving yourself a squeeze here, you might come back to happy baby and it might feel different now, maybe different expression of that. Any other movements, postures that feel good to you here that you'd like to end your practice with, or just anything that would just feel right to you before you settle into that final pose on the mat, finding a posture that feels effortless to you. You can extend your legs long, letting the feet go wide, the hands go wide, giving yourself that moment just to take up space and puddle. You can always come on your side or end your practice in a seated meditation. But if you're lying on your back, see if you can completely let go of physical effort here. Just let yourself be very heavy. You can lose track of your breath work. Settle back into your natural breath and then even lose track of that. And as you slow down, that's when the thoughts may be starting to come a little bit more frequently. The mind can become a little more active when we slow things down. So just notice that. Let those thoughts just kind of drift slowly by. Give yourself some time here. Gift yourself some time to just be. Let things soak in. Let things settle. Wherever you are practicing with me, I thank you for joining me. And a very, very heartfelt namaste.